Hey guys, we're going to continue here with Chapter 9, Section 3, where we're looking at the volumes of pyramids and cones. So this is what you're going to be learning today. Let's get going. All right, so you want to pause and copy all this down. Actually, the volume part you already have copied down, but these things definitely copy down. Volume of a pyramid is 1/3 times the base times the height. Product of the base and the area height. So this is related to the volume of a prism, except you're only looking at 1/3 of it. And if we skip down here a little bit, a cone is going to be 1/3 of a cylinder with the exact same height. Now there's some interesting kind of proofs and stuff that we could do, but really that's kind of for some upper level geometry. So for now, what I need you to do is just focus on knowing these formulas. It's basically the area of the base times the height times 1/3. So let's keep going here and practice utilizing. Here's the best way to get down steps. Look at that. That is incredible. I'm going to watch it again. That's all one shot. All right, so one more time. All right, finding the volume of a square pyramid. It says find the volume of the pyramid to the nearest tenth of a cubic centimeter. So this is, first of all, let's find the area of the base. So remember, the area of a square is equal to a side squared. So for this, it's going to be the base. It's going to be 10 squared, which equals 100. All right, now we need to use the pyramid's height. Well, we're going to have to find the height because notice here I have this value, 13, being this. I could figure this one out, okay? And then this I'm going to have to do a little bit of figuring as well. So this is where that Pythagorean theorem comes into play. So I'm going to say the height squared. So this is, if you recall, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So the height is one of my sides. So instead of a squared, I'll write h squared plus b. In this case, it's half of this because it's in the middle of this particular square. So it's going to be 5 squared should equal 13 squared. So some real quick math here. We get h squared plus 25 equals 169. Subtract 125 from both sides. We get h squared equals 144. So that h equals 12. All right, so there's the height. Here is my base. So I just substitute into the formula. The volume is going to equal 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. And I just multiply these values through and I get that the volume is equal to 400 centimeters cubed, not squared, cubed. All right, so you got to be careful. You're going to see these problems where you have to find these missing values. Pythagorean theorem comes up a lot for that. It's not every single time. Just pay attention to that. So here's one for you to try. Go ahead and pause. The answer will be up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's what I got. Notice on this one that I didn't have to use Pythagorean theorem, that the height is given to us right there. So that made that a little bit easier than the example from before. Let's keep going. Finding the volume of a cone. It says find the volume of the cone to the nearest tenth of a cubic centimeter. So the first thing that we have to do is find the area of the base, which is the area of a circle in this case, pi r squared. My r is 4, all right? So my radius is right there. So this is going to be the base, capital B base, is equal to pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi. And I'm going to leave it at 16 pi for just a second. Next thing is go ahead and substitute it into our volume formula. So volume is equal to 1/3 times the base times the height, which in this case is 10. All right, so we go through and we multiply these different things here. And we end up getting, let's see, some ugly looking number. That is 167.55159, and we're asked to round to the nearest tenth. So we'd say volume is approximately 167 6/10 meters cubed. All right, so the formula for finding the volume of a cone is the same thing as the pyramid in the sense that its volume equals 1/3 capital B base times height. All right, so in that regard, that's nice because that's a little bit less to remember. It's going to be the same thing. The thing that you're going to have to try to remember is how do I find the area of the different bases. Here's one for you to try. Go ahead and pause. The answer will be up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's what I got, 131 and 9/10 meters cubed. So check your work against mine. Let's keep going. All right, an ice cream shop owner designs a new ice cream cone. That sounds good right now. He wants the volume to be, to be about 240 centimeters cubed. The cones should be is 14 centimeters tall. What is its radius? Okay, so if I imagine my ice cream cone, it's going to look something like this. I know that the height here is 14 centimeters tall, and I know that I want the volume to be 240. So I'm going to fill this into my formula. So I got 240 for my volume. Remember, volume equals 1/3 times the base times the height. So let's go ahead and fill in some of this information. 240 equals 1/3. I don't know the base area yet, so for now we'll just write capital B times the height, which I do know is 14. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stuff over here. So we can multiply by, actually let's go ahead and simplify this. 1/3 times 14 is just 14/3. I'm going to leave it that way because when I multiply to get rid of this, I'm going to multiply by 3/14. And this is going back to stuff we covered at the beginning of the year, so if this is weird to you, you need to go back and refresh on that. Here we have 3/14 times 240. Whoops. And what I get is 51 point, and we'll just go out to 3 spots here, 51.428. 429 if I round correctly. All right, so 51.429 equals the base. Well, the base is going to be a circle. All right, so the area of a circle is pi r squared, and r is what I'm looking for. So I need to replace this b with this. So I get 51.429 equals pi r squared, and then I'm solving for r. So the first thing I need to do is divide by pi. And I get 16.37 equals r squared, and then I need to find the square root of both of these. Which for that, I will just use my handy dandy calculator, and I get the radius of 4.04. So we could just say a radius of 4. What is it? Centimeters. Okay, radius of 4 centimeters. Now it's kind of a strange problem to work through. Make sure that you're following all that. There's a lot of steps here. So first step is let's get the base by itself and then substitute the base in with the formula for the area of a circle. Here's one for you to try. Go ahead and pause. The answer will be up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's what I got, about 6.2 centimeters. So check your work against mine, and hopefully you got the same thing. I believe that's it today. Yes, it is. All right, so hopefully you took good notes. I'll see you all in class.